All right. Had a little glitch there, right? How is everybody?
Cool. All right. That's it.
All right. Just a quick heads up. If you hear banging in the background, it's the middle of the day. The only reason why we're not coaching right now is because it's a washout, a lot of rain. So if you hear the banging, it's people working on the house. So I can't get upset about that today because it's actually during work hours.
Yeah, they need to get it done. So, and I can't wait till they're done.
All right, you ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's go. Ready to lock in?
I think we're more excited about the show than the women's match. Today they were not exciting matches.
Yeah,
they just weren't.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun with this one for sure. All right, hello and welcome back to another 5K tennis family discussion. If we cut out or have another technical difficulty like we already had, and the video just stopped streaming, I will immediately start a part 2. So apologies in advance for that. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe button. It helps us out a lot. By the way, we've had a couple of people message us and email us about how they can contribute to us and the show, because I guess a lot of you, or a few of you, have said something well deserved. I think you can do that in a super chat thing. I think there's a button for that. Otherwise, I think we responded to you guys and gave you our PayPal and Venmo link. So anyway, hopefully that helps. I do want to start today's show out, and by the way, today we're going to talk about the women's quarterfinals. We're going to talk about the Hurkacz-Medvedev match. We are going to talk about a couple of topics that we have and take a lot of your topics as well. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You got any comments to take? Shout out.
Just saying hi to everyone that's on right now. Don't forget to hit the like. Let's see. Jose P said Federer's licking his chops. That Humbert won or Hurkacz won. Yes, I'm sure, but again, the better person, the better player won, in my opinion, today. You know, Medvedev can't volley to save his life.
Medvedev didn't have enough time to start slow, and he started slow. He didn't have enough time. He had a set and a half of tennis.
He had a set and a half tennis, but they did ask him. I heard the commentators ask them if they want to continue play, and he said he didn't want to. So maybe he shot himself in the foot.
Yeah.
You know, but Hurkacz came serving volley, which I'm sure my dad's going to be very happy to see that. He sees the reruns, and he played well. He came to the net. He put the volleys away. Medvedev was unable to return to serve a lot of times, and he was just having a hard time.
Agreed. Medvedev, by the way, costed the last person, and that was Jean-Francois Tellier. Medvedev lost, so he was the last person still alive for the $250, but don't worry about it.
Dun, dun, dun.
We are going to roll that right over to the U.S. Open. So again, hit the subscribe button, because the U.S. Open, we're going to be giving away the same $250. I might even make it bigger, because we didn't put anything out this tournament in terms of that big pot.
Well, I mean, someone said that Federer might have. Okay, let's fire. Federer might just be underestimating the big H. So far, head-to-head, 1-0. Federer beat him in 2019 in hard courts in Indian Wells. Pretty straightforward. I think that Hurkacz is going to have a little too much respect for Federer, his idol.
You think nerves might play a factor in that match?
Absolutely, yes.
Center court, Wimbledon.
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you think that match is even close? And we're going to talk about. Let's wait on that. Okay. So real quickly before we start everything, I'm going to start today's show with the fantasy team update. Now there's already one winner. So Casper, aka Dead Seville, out there, he has now won 4 of our fantasy team competitions. He has
amazing.
He has chosen the cash before. He has chosen 5K tennis merchandise. He has chosen strings
several times. Yeah.
Casper, when you watch this, please send me an email. I know you have it, and we will once again send you.
He's probably like, wow.
We will once again send you your prize. All right, besides Casper, these are the last 4 people competing for the last $50 slot, okay? One of you 4 is going to be receiving $50, or if you want 5 sets of Y-Tech strings, that's fine as well. Ziliu Wang has Djokovic, Berrettini, Muhova, Jabeur, and Kerber remaining, and he has 66 points.
Out.
Oh, excuse me, she lost. Yeah, I didn't scratch that out this morning. Anyway, he has 66 points.
So is Jabeur.
Sorry. I read it wrong. Okay, he has 66 points, and he only has Djokovic, Berrettini, and Kerber left. Okay. Thomas Wilson has 66 points and has Djokovic and Kerber remaining, right? I had it highlighted from yesterday, and I just read it off.
Yeah.
Jabeur, yeah. Junze Chi, Okay, and I think that is Thomas Chi's
They're
brother.
all family members,
Yeah, tennis family, good for them. He has 67 points, and he has Djokovic, Federer, Berrettini, and Kerber remaining. He's looking real good here for that second spot. Okay.
Quarterfinals.
I haven't marked those yet.
Oh, you haven't marked.
I have to wait till the quarterfinals are done to update everything. So.
Gotcha.
Medvedev lost, so I had to finish from yesterday.
Gotcha.
This doesn't include the quarterfinal matches. I haven't done. This is just the recap from after the Medvedev match. Zest for Life. Zest for Life has Djokovic, Shapovalov, Berrettini, Sabalenka, and Kerber, and he has 62 points. So that's it. Oh yeah, and Casper won. So that's it. So that's where you're at. Casper, you've already won. Let me know if you want the cash, strings, or 5K tennis merchandise.
Yeah.
All right?
All right.
That's it.
All right, subject one.
All right, subject one is going to have to do with the hideousness of women squealing, grunting when they hit la-ee. So I spent some time this morning and I put together a little video of the hideousness of some of the women squealing. So I kind of put it together in a 1-minute video, so I hope you think I did a good job. We are not going to talk about women's matches yet because we have one topic after this one. This will just basically talk about the hideousness of the women screaming. Check this video out. I spent a lot of time on it. Let's go.
Hold on, let me close this out. And
then expand it so it's bigger.
And volume.
This is a good video, guys and gals. Expand it.
Hold on. Here we go. Play.
Hit that bottom right button. This is what.
Hey, I was prepared.
Not really.
Okay, well, it worked. Here we go. Here we go. And play.
Carla.
I didn't do anything. I didn't play. There we go.
It's over.
I didn't do anything. Again, it keeps. Okay, that was my least favorite one. Can we go to the beginning? That's my favorite. Yeah. The beginning is my favorite.
So I hope you enjoyed that. That was some.
I mean, this one sounds just like Sabalenka. Right here. The first one killed it. You got the first one right.
Yeah. I figured that the women deserve some credit on their squealing. Absolutely horrendous. Once again, we watched Sabalenka play, and the volume was definitely down. But
Shiplanka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shiplanka, exactly. Yeah. All right. Anyway, enough of that. Okay, I had fun with that one anyway. Topic number one. This morning, Carl and I were reading an article, and it was a well-written article, and it was from ESPN, an ESPN sports writer by the name of Bill Connolly. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was a well-done article, and I think we should expand on this article, but the title of the article was The Rise, the Fall, and Hopefulness of American Tennis. And again, pardon the noise, but I'm actually kind of glad they're working. Do you think I should tell them maybe if you could give us 20 minutes? Or just
leave them alone. You've done enough damage.
Okay. All right. So what I want to bring up here is whether or not you agree with this or disagree with this. It doesn't matter if you're just from the U.S. or not. It doesn't matter where you're from. You can definitely put your 2 cents in. So one thing that this article started out with was indicating that it's been 18 years, almost 20 years since Andy Roddick won the U.S. Open. Okay. It's been 12 years since a U.S. man made a major final. In the 2010s, there was only 2 American men that made a semifinal, and that was Querrey and Isner. And they are the only 2 active Americans that have spent a very brief period of time in the top 20 that are current, right? He indicated in the same article what Nathan, her father, indicated yesterday on yesterday's show, that there should be more serving and volleying. Okay, so in this article, the writer interviewing some other people came up with some things that they were indicating were part of this American tennis demise, right? Number one, they need to serve and volley more, okay? Number two, they need to have some strategies to be able to end some points or the majority of their points in 4 shots or less. Now, that's one thing I disagree with here, and I'll get into that in a second. Also, they indicate that their patterns of play are low percentage and easy to figure out, okay? I'm going to leave it there. The first thing I disagree with is ending most points in 4 shots or less. Look at the best player in the world right now, Novak Djokovic. Do you think every point he plays is 4 shots or less, or is the majority of the time he's setting up the point in about 4 shots or less? Right?
Yeah, I think it's way more than 4 shots. I think that is the issue, that the Americans try to finish the shots in less than 4 shots. I think you need to expand your rallies a bit more.
Yeah,
and set up the point better.
Now, he indicated as well, and that the strategies were easy to figure out. Now, this is one thing I definitely agree with. Carla and I, we've coached together for a very long time. Personally, I've coached for 22 years and have played the game for 41. I started at 2. Coaches in the U.S. generally have the same type of mindset. And I'm not talking about the majority. I'm not talking about a minority of them, because some of them are really good. I'm talking about the majority of them you see at clubs, different parks and facilities that have coaches. Most of them just go out there. They're teaching them how to serve big and everything a forehand. Not much on the backhand side. They're teaching inside out forehand, and then just a big loopy topspin 2-handed backhand. Carla and I get students all the time. Not all the time, but often, frequently, that come to us that have played for a very long time. They go to tournaments and they get thumped, and they come here like, what's wrong? They come out and they have a forehand, but with no topspin. It's flat. If you bring them into the court, hit them a short ball, slice it to them, they come up and, jack it 7 feet long, right? If you move them around, they have no idea what to do, and they get aggravated that they're losing. And we sit there and tell them, there's no point no one's putting together any points. So, I'm 43 with an E.5, and I'll get one of our best junior students out here outside of my son. My son beats me. And I'll just chip them a short ball, and they just hit it to the fence. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of variety in men's tennis currently in the United States.
No,
there just isn't.
No, there isn't. Let me read a message that Jose P said about your subject here.
Let's go.
He said, American juniors need to play adults earlier in their lives. Europeans enter the ITF at 15 years old, and Americans waste their time with college tennis. I don't underestimate the value of an education. I agree with half of what you're saying, Jose P. When I was learning the game at age 11, my dad made it a point to enter me in adult tournaments from the beginning. That way, he said, you will understand the game better. You will understand that it's not about hitting the ball hard. It's about thinking out there, and that points take time to develop. I got my butt kicked by a lot of older adult ladies, but I learned to be patient, so that way when I went into a junior tournament, I would win them, because I knew that I had to be a patient player and not just try to finish the points big. It was not about winning, looking pretty, playing,
Yeah.
So I agree with that statement. I disagree with college players. Americans waste their time with college tennis. Not everyone that learns tennis is going to be a pro. To be a pro is one of the toughest things. There's so many talented people out there in the world that are pretty close in level. You need to go to college. I would tell any kid that learns the sport, concentrate in school first. And if you're lucky, or you're that beastly, then play the pro tournaments.
Yeah, look, in Jose P's context, though, we're not talking about college players. We're talking about pro players, right? If you have the ability to be a pro player, going to college does take time away from your development. Mm-hmm. Now, I do agree with you. It is very, that's even a very small adjective. It is extremely difficult to become a pro player. Carla's been through the challenger ranks, and it's difficult. I can't exaggerate
It's difficult,
how difficult
especially
it is.
for a male.
So,
Difficult.
college is great. If you're a phenomenal tennis player, here in the U.S. or something, and you want to go to college first, that's okay, because if you even think about going to college first, I doubt you're the player that's going to be the next major winner, right? You're not that good yet. Whoever said that they enter people in Europe at 15 or wherever at 15.
Yeah, those are the challenges.
So what I'm saying is those 15-year-olds are already seeing players that are better than college players. So they're taking that jump, and they're taking that jump by getting their butts kicked a lot, right? And then they used to get their butts kicked, and then they get less anxious, and then their game starts to grow because eventually they figure it out. Why is our son Christopher now better than the both of us? Because we kicked his butt for so long. Mm-hmm. Am I right? We beat him enough, and he figured it out, and here he is. Correct?
That's true. Like he's faced adults a lot of his
whole life.
So when he plays juniors that maybe have a huge serve, they're shocked by when he can return the ball back because because he's used to that. You can be a 6'3" guy and place it where you think you have an ace, and he gets it back because he's thinking a step ahead. If he gets the ball back, where he's going to place it, where he's going to be. The other thing my son has learned is that you have to have variety in tennis. You just can't hit a forehand. You just can't hit a backhand. There has to be a plan. Why? Because he's playing against adults, and adults are always thinking a step ahead. Juniors, they just want to win quick. They want to get off the court. They want to hit the ball hard. They want to look good. And adults is not about that. They have more patience. They take their time.
Exactly.
They're figuring out how to beat you.
Yeah, and another thing, making reference to our fourth of five children, we're discussing Chris here. I used to beat Chris when he was 6 or 7 and 8 years old, serving it hard. Since he was very young, I would serve 120 to him, pow, and then he'd be like, "Okay, will you run real quick?" He would think we're going to go to the house. No, we're going to keep playing until you get a game or until you get 2 games. We can stay out here all damn day long, but you're gonna start doing something. And this is aside from drilling and training, right?
Yeah.
This is like going out to the courts just to have fun, but we're going to play sets all day until you get a game. And that's when he was like really young. Mm-hmm. Now we go out there and he goes into battle, right?
Yeah. I like Ellis Fire's comment. Also, the play and stay waste of time with orange and green balls.
Agreed. Who said that?
That is the worst thing that I've seen the tennis industry do to kids is bring the orange, the green balls with the dots, the red balls, making the court smaller. We all played full courts when we were little. Why are we making these kids dumber?
Who made that comment?
Ellis Fire.
Ellis Fire, thank you for this comment. This is something that got me, when I first started out, after I got my coaching certificate, I started coaching at clubs, right? And when I had to learn this 10 and under tennis thing, and I would bring kids out to the court and have to set this stuff up, I looked at Carla and I was like, "Are you freaking serious?" I got foamy balls, and I started being outspoken about it, and I lost my first job as a teaching pro because of that. I wasn't an ass about it, but I'm like, "Are you serious?" I grew up hitting with a wooden racket, a heavy one, and yellow balls from the baseline when I was 2. I wasn't hitting from the baseline at 2, but I was holding a wooden racket on a tennis court with my coach. I have pictures when I was 2 from the baseline with regular balls. And now we developed this USTA 10 and under tennis thing. Right now we coach privately, so I don't have to answer for the country club. But I've told Carla over the years, I refuse to teach that foamy ball bullcrap. It wastes time. It's stupid. I have a 5-year-old right now that hits a clean one-handed backhand from the baseline, live feed from the other side of the net with regular balls currently.
And serves into the
And serves from the baseline, 5 years old over the net.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Let's go back to a few comments here. Jesus Cruz Cava says young guys need more accessibility to tournaments, I think. Very true. We don't have enough tournaments. That's the other problem in the U.S. Yes. These tournaments are $120.
The money, yeah.
Not everyone can afford that. Not everyone comes from a piggy bank. There are kids out there that are beastly, but they can't travel. They can't afford. I remember being a junior, there were a lot more tournaments accessible in New York, or even when I lived in Florida. Like here in Alabama, you have to really do your research. You have to travel far. It's just not good. The tournaments are very expensive.
Yeah.
Gene Schwartz says definitely it's somewhat true on the women's side too. Players have no variety anymore. Just pushing and serve botting all the time. That's why Ash is clearly the best because she has the transition game. Yep. Very well said.
That's exactly right.
Ben Fricker said being educated first will be better because you'll have a better mindset. Agreed.
It's a great comment. I agree with that totally.
This guy said college tennis worked well for Cam Norrie. Michael Walker said, if you are FAA, Coco, Graf, Nadal, Borg, go on tour.
Didn't Cam Norrie go to TCU, Texas Christian, I think? Didn't he go to college in Texas?
Yeah.
I think so. Tennis Sandgren went to Tennessee. Give me some more. What? Tommy Paul went to UCLA.
Michael Walker says John Isner, James Blake, Anderson, college work for them.
Yeah, James Blake was a Harvard guy, but none of these guys that we're talking about has won a major. Who was the last person that went actually to a university that won a major? John McEnroe. John McEnroe played for Stanford one year, didn't he? Only 1 year, I think. Didn't John McEnroe play for Stanford?
I don't know.
Brad Gilbert never won a major. Brad Gilbert played for Pepperdine in California. I know these things because I lived in California.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Kevin Anderson went to
Isner, Georgia.
Yeah, but
Tommy Paul didn't go to college. That's what I was.
Okay, there was it. Is it Jerome? There's a college player playing now or a pro player playing now that went to college at UCLA. I forget who it is. It tells you. Is it Mackenzie McDonald? I don't know. These guys are not top-notch tennis players in my opinion. They're just not.
But they're playing on the tour. UCLA.
Yeah, but okay.
Well, Steve Johnson, you got two.
Okay, great. Steve Johnson, a fine
but
player.
They're not top,
but they're not top elite players.
Yeah.
And look, a lot of these college players don't go into the pros, even though they could. Just like the rest of these guys, they just took their degree and started working.
Yeah.
In that field, or got a graduate degree or whatever. But just because these, Tommy Pauls and Mackenzie McDonald's and Isners, they are successful. They have money in the bank. But we're talking about elite level athletes here. Elite level at the very highest level that went to college.
Collins, but she's a female. It's a little.
But has she won a major?
No,
I think a good variable here for the hypothesis is who was the last person to win a major that went to a 4-year university and played there. I'm guessing McEnroe, but it's just a guess.
He didn't go the whole time to college.
He just went 1 year, I think. I think he played 1 year at Stanford. But I don't know the answer to that. I'm shooting from the hip. I was a boy then.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Jesus says the thing is now that nowadays also really difficult to go to college in the first place. Yeah, going to college and playing sports is difficult. It's very difficult. A lot of people don't know how to manage it, especially if you're playing at a high level, Division I. It's very tough to manage both, you kind of have to pick.
And there's politics involved in recruiting these days. So not always does the best player become found, right? I mean, some of these best players don't have the opportunity even to network, to get outside and meet or network with any coach. There's talent out there. It's tough to find talent when the coaches in the universities and the athletic directors and their scholarships that they're giving out, there's always anything involving free money is heavily politicized.
Definitely, yes. Michael Walker said after Ash went 4 years and graduated and won majors.
Okay, good knowledge drop.
Okay, good.
McEnroe was after Ash, though.
Okay.
The last person.
Sinisa said tennis is not a cheap sport. Every European young player goes into depths to fund their tournaments. That is the way. If you want to play, you must pay to enter until you succeed. True. To me, it's not worth it, though. To me, the college education is very important. Just saying, maybe 20 years ago I would have said different. Nowadays I say it's different.
Well, if you don't make it in tennis, you need something to kind of move forward with. Now there was two messages I sent you. Mm-hmm. One was from Brad Gilbert and another one was from someone else. And this was just kind of an idea of what maybe.
Which one first?
Let's go with the first one, the red one. So this is a quote within that article. Go ahead.
From this guy?
Yeah, O'Shaughnessy. I guess he's another sports writer.
The traditional USTA practice session is where we get out there and we hit 100 balls cross court to start.
Okay.
Then we do our patterns and we throw in some serves at the end.
Okay.
He thinks it's easy for actual point construction to take back a seat.
Yeah, and so what this quote is hey, our practice sessions, we go out and hit 100 balls cross court, we do some drilling, and then we do serves at the end. Mm-hmm. That's freaking laughable. Do you understand when I was born, and I'm just talking about my father doing this and coaches I had, first of all, we went to school, but if we weren't in school summer or when we got out of school in the afternoons, 2:33, it wasn't going outside to the playground. We're going straight to the damn court, and we're more than likely going to be there until well after dark. And no matter what my mother said about my sister and I being, very young and out on the courts till midnight plus, we would hit 100 balls cross court from 25 different places on the court, forehand, short. I'm talking from the center service line from the other side of the tee, the other side of the tee. 1,000 balls short. Then we go cross court to cross court from the service box corners, cross court to cross court. 1,000 balls. Then we go to the other side, cross court to cross court. Then we back up 6 feet, cross court to cross court. Then we go in the middle. Then we go to the side. Then we go to the back. Then we go 6 feet behind the baseline. I would have hit damn 10,000 balls just warming up. And then we would do drills and strategy and workout and fitness. And then my sister would go, and then my dad or coaches would come get me, and we would go back.
I had a different type of training from Justin. Mine weren't hitting thousands of balls. I don't remember ever hitting thousands of balls. Like, my father didn't train me that way. My father was more about, I've said it before, here's 3 tennis balls. And you're going to keep the 3 tennis balls that I have in my hand, and we're going to keep it in play, or you're in trouble. That was I don't remember my dad ever coming out with a lot of tennis balls with a hopper. Yes, we would play all day, and I mean all day, but it was more of me playing against adults. Anybody that he can find, he would pick a random person. He would see someone at the tennis court. Would you like to play with my daughter? And he would pick them if they were older, and that's how I think my tennis developed. My tennis wasn't thousands of balls. It just wasn't that way.
We had, my dad had an old 68 Chevy truck. And in the back of the 68 Chevy, we had 3 trash cans. And I'm not talking little kitchen trash cans. I'm talking outdoor trash cans that you roll out to the street for the garbage truck to pick up. Full to the rim with tennis balls. Some of them new, some of them old, some of them had holes in it. They were too heavy to carry, so we brought a skateboard because he had me do skateboarding to build stability and to be able to turn and hit the backhand and hit the forehand. So I was skateboarding early on, not tricks, just riding, right? We had to pick up the buckets and set them on the skateboard and wheel the skateboard to the court. And then when we couldn't get the skateboard on the court because it didn't look good at a club for a skateboard to be on the court, we would take it off and kind of roll the trash can on its bottom edge to where it would be accessible. And we had 3 of those. And we would hit those balls and we would pick them up. We would hit those balls and pick them up. We had a ball mower, we still have to this very day, and we'd walk around and pick up all the balls and we'd do it again.
Okay, go to some message. Thomas Brookswick says Stephen Huss won doubles 2005 and he went to Auburn.
Wait, that's here in Alabama. What's this guy's name?
Stephen Huss.
This is a great knowledge
Huss?
drop.
Yeah.
Who said this?
Thomas, Little Thomas.
Hey, he's out there.
Yeah.
What's up, Bruckowitz? That's a great knowledge drop. And he won a major. He won a major in doubles.
Doubles 2005.
Okay, I mean that's that fits the narrative.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would relinquish my college education
I wouldn't.
just to play doubles.
Carol said players should not give up college for tennis. That doesn't make sense.
I agree.
Well said.
If you're that good, you should have already be there.
Flock 83 said Novak said he was hitting between 2K and 3K of forehands and backhands in every practice as a kid. I only hit thousands of balls when I was living with my coach, hitting one-handed backhand. That's the only time. And if I wanted to hit thousands of balls, I would always hear my dad or him say the best practice is against the wall, and I would spend hours against the wall. Michael Walker, let's see what Jesus said. No, I don't want to read that comment. They're talking about Mario Anchik going to college after he retired. Okay, Michael Walker.
I didn't know that. Anchik is a fine player in his own right.
He could have won a slam.
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool as well.
Michael Walker said top players like Sampras and Agassi, who are top 10 in the world as teens, are not going to college. Why would they?
Exactly. That's what I mean. Mm-hmm. If you were that good and at your high school ages, you're gonna make the jump already.
Yeah, you're not gonna play college.
Unless
you're unsure. You're unsure that that's what you want to do in life. There are some that they're just not sure that's the lifestyle they want, so they go to college because they want to experience that.
Yeah, I think I guess kind of a generalization is what it seems to be. The large percentage of tennis players that go through college, which is very respectable, I did the same thing. The maximum level of success, at least I think on average, is about Steve Johnson, John Isner, these guys.
John Isner has
it's a great level. He's very young and he'll have more money to spend than you could imagine, right? However, it's a lightning strike, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of these guys, there's probably many tennis players that are equally as good as Isner and Paul and
James Blake and all those guys.
And instead of going and playing pro tennis, they just got their masters, their PhD or their doctorate, and now they're operating on people. or practicing in courtrooms. So I think that's the moral of the story. I don't know if I would want to tell my children to ever not go to college, because I think even at Christopher's age, 16, even though he's a 17 or a 7 UTR and pretty much wins the majority of the tournaments he enters, sometimes he'll lose, but he's not good enough to make that jump.
Well, he's not even not even
that interested. He doesn't even practice.
Let me tell you something about this kid here.
Yeah,
he does not practice,
and he
beats people. That's the sad part. There's so many kids that are practicing, and this kid really.
Chris doesn't practice.
This week, has he hit one time?
Doesn't practice.
He doesn't practice, and he's that good, and too bad. Bad that's going to be a wasted talent. But
yeah, and it's not like he runs over us or something. I mean, our oldest son's at the Air Force Academy right now, and that was a hell of an accomplishment. But Chris is into other things. He's into education. Christopher's made straight A's since he was in like first grade. Really smart kid. He's not into that. We don't let him sit here, but we know if we bring him out to the court that he's not going to give it 100% and so forth. So he practices, but he doesn't put much into it. And then when he enters these tournaments,
and I don't enter him much because someone asked me, how do you know when to stop a kid from getting injured? I think there's so many kids out there that play way too much tennis, way too many tournaments. You will get burned out. It happens. I've seen the best Russian kids in New York. They were beastly. I have yet to see a kid here that I can say, wow, they're beastly at a young age.
I don't know if Philip Brukowitz is out there, his brother, but they play a lot of tournaments. What are their feelings? I think they play tournaments every weekend.
They do. I wouldn't do that to my kids. And I hate to say that.
I think some people like it, though.
Some people like it, but you'll get burned out. I remember playing as a kid at 11, 12. Again, I didn't play too many junior tournaments until my dad could see that I could beat adults. And I saw a lot of those kids that were a lot more beastly than they were. Yeah. Their parents were high-level coaches in other countries, and they were killing everybody in New York. And by the time they got to 16, they were done with it.
Burnout.
They were burned out completely. They didn't want to touch a tennis racket. That's all they did. You have to have other things also in life, in my opinion. Just saying.
Okay, so I sent you a second message on the same topic, and then we're going to shift gears. It's been a great topic. So can you find that other message I sent you, Carla?
The one with Brad Gilbert?
Yeah. Now this was in the same article, and it's a quote from Brad Gilbert.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you read that? It's a little long, but
this for starting from.
Yeah. You want me to read it? Okay. You got it? Okay.
We need for our young players when they're 13, 14 to embrace playing on clay way more. Until we do that, we're gonna struggle. Clay just teaches you so much growing up, from discipline to footwork to working the point, and so many of the kids play 1 or 2 tournaments a year in clay in the States. They don't practice on it. I think it hurts your movement. I think it hurts your ability to develop your game. He is right about that. I would have to agree with him on that. I personally didn't like clay, didn't play in many tournaments because they were on clay. I know my kids are like, really? Clay, Mom? You know? Yeah, I have to agree with him. We really don't know how to play on clay.
Well, when we coach, the majority of the students that we coach will play a little mini tennis game when we start out. Kids come out, we'll skip around the courts, we'll warm up a little bit, play a little bit of mini tennis, and then we'll start a 15-point or 21 points. When I was a kid, we would do it to hundreds of points. And you were playing a regular tennis match, but beyond the service line is out on this side, and beyond the service line is out on that side, and obviously the doubles alleys are out. You exchange points just by tapping it in. You're not overpower serving it, and then the point starts, and you're trying to chip the ball and put it here and put it there and develop points. Point construction, right? Mm-hmm. That is really synonymous with what happens on a clay court in a bit. It slows down a little bit. You're forced to think more. You're forced to create your own points in your own pace and so forth. So there is some constant or some, I think, credibility in that statement, but he mentioned a word within that I really kind of pulled out of it and made my own. He was mentioning footwork and movement, right? Now, here's some of the players we have, and these are listed in the same article. We have Opelka, we have Fritz, we have Korda. All of these guys are super tall, right? 6'9", 6'10". Korda's 6'5", and a lanky 170, right? Mm-hmm. That's if you're 6'5" and you're 170, that's borderline too skinny. Just think about that. 6'5" and 170. That's super light. I'm 6'1" and 150, but I mean, I've had people call me chicken legs. I get it. Tommy Paul Tiafo So we have Opelka, Fritz, Korda, Tommy Paul, Tiafo in the top 60 right now. And in this article, they say Korda is the one to watch. Now, we talked about this on this show for multiple shows about how tall is too tall in tennis. Mm-hmm. You know, some people agree with me and some people disagree with me. There is a too tall at any sport because of injuries or movement abilities. I mean, look at Manute Bol that played in the NBA. Was he too tall? I'm just saying. Anyway, in this article, even Brad Gilbert and these writers even indicate that Korda, being 6'5" and so lanky, his movement is even a problem, and that he is the only one to watch out of this group. So the only player we have to watch, according to these guys, not me, that's U.S., is Korda. And Korda is 6'5" and way skinny at a 170.
His dad was too. His dad was very skinny. His dad was even skinnier than him.
Okay, different era, not from here.
I remember that. Yeah, well, how do you think his dad's raising him? Like he's from here?
I don't know.
Do you really think his dad's trained him the way we train American kids?
Well, okay, does that mean just because his dad was very good that our son Chris is going to win majors? Or did Korda won one major or no? Doubles?
Let's find out what he won.
I forgot.
I thought it was an Australian Open, but I could be wrong.
It may be. There maybe was a doubles one in there. I think he won a major though. I hate to.
He won. He was 6'3".
Tall.
Okay. He made. I remember him. I used to call him. He looked like a bird because his neck, you know, was
skinny guy. Yeah.
Yeah, very skinny guy. He won the Australian Open 1998.
Yep.
Made the finals of the French Open 1992.
Yeah,
his furthest Wimbledon was 1998. U.S. Open quarterfinal 1995, 1997.
Yeah, remember that well.
10 career titles, won some doubles too. I mean, he you know, I don't think that he trains them the way they train here. I'm sure that he trains them the way they trained in the Czech Republic. You know, maybe.
I don't know. It's hard for dad to teach son because you know how kids rebel against you. We know. So I'm sure there's other people coaching him. So
there should be. I always say, if you're coaching your kids, if I could do it, I'd have someone else coach mine.
Okay, so we've taken all of these very well written and very again, that wasn't really our material. I quoted, but here's my thoughts on it, my own thoughts on it, and you guys can tell me if you agree with me or you disagree. I think this issue is a combination of exactly what these fine men have discussed, but I also think there's more, and we've talked about this before. I think it's an overwhelming sense of laziness in the United States right now, an overwhelming sense of laziness. I'm not saying any one of these guys in particular, but a large percentage of, in my opinion, our population doesn't really want to do anything. They just want to wake up and the first thing they look for is their cell phone. You can't get them off the couch because their favorite 27 shows might be fixing to stream. Every day there's some new ism, there's some new idea that kids think is something new underneath the sun, but the same isms and the same beliefs and the same racial issues have been around since time began. And I always think it's so comical, not comical, sad, but comical at the same time, sad but true, that kids think that their parents and their parents' parents and thousands of years of generations haven't seen this shit before. Kids are like, oh, did you hear about racism? Like, are you serious? You laugh about it. Kids think they always know something more than what all of us have known and lived. And most of us have lived much more difficultly, right? Right? So there's gender things going on. There's fast food restaurants abound. If you leave house in the morning and go to work, you're going to pass a McDonald's and Burger King, Subway, and some people are like, Subway's healthy, but it's full of processed meat, which is absolute garbage. Kentucky Fried Chicken, Popeyes,
I haven't had a
Arby's,
Kentucky Fried Chicken
Hardee's.
since I was like 10,
So,
11.
you go to the grocery stores here in the U.S. and the first thing you see is chips and pizzas, and then the first aisle you see is Nestle Quick, and it's just a shit mess. And it has a lot more to do, I think it's 60 or 70% societal laziness, cell phones, self-gratification, snooty. Someone said it earlier in the show, tennis is a very expensive sport, okay? Tennis isn't expensive to learn, but it's expensive to have coaches to get you to this level, right? Look,
you have to have deep pockets.
Yeah,
for you to be playing tournaments every week.
Yeah.
Or traveling every week, or having.
It's expensive then.
You have to have parents that are loaded, or someone that's helping you realize that dream.
Yeah.
There's no way you could do it without without for the
Yeah,
funding.
we have supported children in Nigeria and Kenya and been involved with that have learned the game and are pretty decent at it, in bare feet with old wooden tennis rackets with broken strings. But to get to the pro level, yes, there's going to be some cost there. And what happens
everywhere in the world, Simone? You're right.
when you meet these days rich spoiled kids, what kind of attitude do you get from them? I teach kids that now some don't come from nothing, but some come from a lot. And when the shit hits the fan and you're trying to gripe at them, it's always this "Who are you" attitude. I got money. I'll be fine either way. That's the attitude you get. And I ask myself, this person doesn't want to play tennis. They just want to fit into the Joneses when they go to the country club and be able to go to their dinners at night with $10,000 a month memberships and play the role. But that's not what makes champions.
Michael Walker says you can't make to D1 tennis without money. Never mind professional.
Exactly.
Well said, Michael.
Well said, bro.
You can't make it to D1.
Exactly.
Because you have to play the tournaments. The first question that a college coach asks you, well, why haven't you played tournaments?
Some of the.
And I tell my kids, I'm like, my students, I said, look, there's an easy way to get out of that. Just say you don't come from a family that has much.
Yeah.
So you have to be selective in your tournaments. Because if you don't play tournaments,
exactly.
your UTR score never goes up. So you have to. Now the UTR score is used in college, so you have to play tournaments. You have to.
Look, you got to be damn hungry to make it. And again, why do countries like Belarus, these little countries putting out Sabalenkas, Sasnoviches, and Azarenkas, why are little countries like Serbia putting out Djokovic's and Kekmanovich's, Lajovich's, and Giris? Why is it? It's because they're hungry. They're not sitting at home on the damn couch. And at one point in time, not terribly long ago, instead of sitting on their couch chilling out with their family, they were hitting tennis balls in swimming pools emptied out because there was bombs falling on their heads.
I think that's only 3 kids that did that. They're players that we know of that did that.
It's a freaking metaphor, Carla.
Yeah, I know.
They're hungry.
Mm-hmm.
They're hungry. They want to go out and work so they can fight and they can make something for their family and for themselves because they're tired of being bombed. That's a metaphor. Thank you very much.
Yes, I already know, Justin.
But if you wake up and every day you get a new pair of shorts just to go to your tennis lesson that costs $70 a piece, you're never going to make it because everything's already handed to you. So don't come out and bicker about why I'm not getting any better. Why don't you humble yourself and get hungry? If not, your life is already handed to you. You don't need to work hard. And that is, I think, the inherent issue with why this is an expensive sport to tour in and to get coaching at that level in this country is why would I want to work so hard? Why in the hell? Mommy and daddy already got me. That's where
I'll that's true. I do see a lot of my students already driving better cars than I do. I'm like,
man, we got 16-year-old students that pull up in Lexuses.
I'm like, damn.
Like, what the hell?
I was like, my parents never gave me a car.
Man,
they never gave me a car. As a matter of fact, my mom, when I moved back after I didn't make it in the tour, she said, you got to get a job.
Dude,
go back to school. And I remember I had to get a job, and she's like, you got to pay electricity bill and water bill, and you got to contribute to food and
She was working in an Arby's drive-thru at 13.
14 to help my parents out. And when I moved back home, I went to community college and I didn't finish because I got married, but I went to community college and I worked in the hotel industry and I still trained at the same time.
Exactly. Hungry. Got tired of seeing mom on her hands and knees. Got tired of seeing dad work 7, 8 jobs. Mm-hmm. She went to work at 13 and still trained hard.
And I helped my mom clean houses, so I've been through it. My kids haven't been through half of what I've been through with my parents.
Anyway, just to squash this topic, we mentioned 16-year-olds and so forth that pull up to our lessons driving a Lexus solo, right? Some of these kids wreck them and get a better one after that.
This guy said, I can't believe kids are allowed to drive at 16.
Yeah, Lexuses.
I agree.
Brand new Mustangs.
How are you allowed to drive 16 driving a nicer car than most hardworking adults? It's crazy that a parent will say, here you go, your first car, here's this beautiful car, brand new car that you didn't work for, go drive it, go crash it, and I'll get you
another one. You know, Carla and I drive an 89 Chevrolet truck, 5-speed. Carla drives an Explorer with 178,000 miles on. We've had since 2011. That's how we roll. That's a fact. Thank God we don't have a car payment though. Damn. The subject will be, I guess, relinquished here. Mm-hmm. Okay, you can't win anything in life if you're not hungry. And in the United States, those that are playing tennis aren't hungry. I don't know how else to tell it. Okay, you can butter us up and talk about coaches and all this stuff. But right now, the American youth that are involved in tennis, they're not hungry. Now, why is football so much different? Because the brothers that can play that shit and ball in your face go to the NBA. Where are they at? They're hungry. They're in the hood, respectively. A lot of my buddies I grew up with have been there, and that's a lot of respect to them. But they're hungry, really hungry, and they come out and dunk on you, right?
Agree.
And right now in tennis, we're just pushing the ball around because you know what? Mommy and daddy already got me.
Or just whacking the ball, like really hard.
Yeah, whatever.
Michael Walker said, but if you live in the South, if you don't drive at 15, you ain't going anywhere. No public transportation. I didn't have a car.
Yeah.
I went many places. I use my legs or a bike.
Yeah, we don't.
Just saying.
We don't
go play tennis. My dad would say, make sure you practice your serve. I'm not going to watch you. Go practice.
Exactly.
I use my legs, and I would carry a hopper with me and my tennis racket.
Oh, and by the way, our oldest son at the Air Force Academy, I never bought a car for. He's at the Air Force Academy right now on a skateboard, and he broke his arm skateboarding. He just came out of a cast. No, I don't feel guilty about it because he ran into a damn wall at night. Why'd you ride down the hill and hit a wall at night? But I love him though.
The inner kid cities do have more opportunities at tennis.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
I remember being in New York, they had a lot more programs for kids. I don't know how it is now. You know, yeah, you could get on the train, hop on the bus, whatever. Even though my parents couldn't afford to give me the money for the token to get on the train, so I hopped the train. I never paid for the train. My friends would always figure out a way how to do it, and I would follow them, and I never paid for the train, or I walked. Agree, just go to, Alpha says, agree, just go to school at the age you can walk, scooter, bike, etc. Exactly. I just had a student that was coming to my lesson. He wanted to go to the bakery and get something, and he looked down at his phone at the GPS, got into a car accident.
Second wreck.
Third wreck. This is what I'm saying. Putting a kid behind a car at 16, ouch, be careful. This guy said the same with soccer. Compare European players and South American/African players. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what my dad calls anyone in a vehicle, but especially a younger kid or child or young adult in a vehicle? You know what he calls them? Instead of saying a kid driving a car, he says an unguided missile. He was an old Navy pilot, right? Mm-hmm. So that's his thing. He was like, geez, to put a thing of car keys in a young person's hand. And his opinion is like throwing an unguided missile out in the middle of the interstate.
Oh, when I worked at Arby's too, my dad couldn't take me all the time, so he said take the bus. I was in the South, take the bus, figure it out. I would walk from school because the bus stop wasn't close to the school, far away. I would say about a 30-minute walk. I'd get on the bus and go to work. And I didn't see my paycheck, just saying. Because
your parents got it.
Right.
And they should, because they had a house over your head. Mm-hmm. You know, by the way, Carla for a couple of years was raised in Belize, in Central America, right? Do you want to tell them that story? How you ended up in, it's called Tough Times. It's called Mom and Dad Struggling. And Carla spent a young part of her life being raised in Belize, learning Spanish and living that life. I think that made her a better woman,
those
though.
People are not privileged there, for sure. Not those people, but people there. Kids, they walk without shoes, and I'm sure many of you guys that live in third world countries see that. No shoes. Shoes is a luxury over there. A piece of paper to go to school is a luxury, and education is a luxury in those type of countries.
Want to talk about hungry?
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, let's go to the next subject.
All right.
Sabalenka.
Let's go.
I put here Sabalenka and Pliskova in the semifinals. I put here bad message to juniors. Just hit and go for it. Don't worry about strategy. Just scream or have no emotions, and you'll make a semifinal at Wimbledon.
Jeez, if Sabalenka makes the final, even though I used to have fun with Carla, because Carla hated her, I used to say Sabalenka would win a major, even maybe before Osaka won her next one. I was wrong about that. But watching her is unbearable. I can't embrace it. I can't.
It's horrible. Everything's like, I can't even scream like her. It's just horrible. There is no strategy behind her game. Today she played Jabeur. Jabeur was just not there or didn't do anything. I'm like, why wouldn't you make this big-ass, grown-ass woman move forward? Move her forward. For the love of God, move her forward like every other junior. You move them forward. They don't know what to do. Move them forward. Make her hit the ball hard so it goes out. Make her volley. Move her. Slice. Chip. Moon her. Something.
Yeah, every time one of our junior students wants to play Carla or I, They think they're hot. They may have won a tournament or whatever. And we get out there and we beat them 6-0, 6-0. And we didn't really even try. We just sliced every ball like to the tee and made him hit it. And every ball hits the fence or the top of the net. And then they're like, what happened? I was playing bad. I'm like, no, because you can only hit balls way behind the baseline as hard as you can. When I bring you inside, you don't know how to control and feel the ball. Mm-hmm. And so you just come up and whack it or stick your racket out and have no idea what to do inside the court. Yeah. So we play the short court and we dominate them. Mm-hmm. Not even trying.
So here we go. So Pliskova made Golubic look too like nothing. So they went through it pretty quickly. So now we have no emotion, mummy, zombie girl, whatever, against Sabalenka, the no strategy, screaming big girl. I call her the big girl with the greasy hair. I'm sorry.
Right.
Like here, I hate these two players. I hate them. I wouldn't teach any junior their game.
I
don't even know who to pick. Like, who do I pick? If I had to really pick, if God said, I'm going to chop your hands, you got to pick one.
You got to pick Pliskova.
I'm going to say Pliskova.
Yeah.
Because at least she has a little more strategy. Maybe we'll see finally a smile on her face or some excitement when she wins.
Congratulations to Pliskova. Pliskova has now made, and correct me if I'm wrong here, I think Pliskova has now made at least the semifinals in all 4 majors and then made the final of the U.S. Open, if I'm correct.
She deserves to win a slam. Sabalenka does not. She just doesn't, right? How can you allow this in women's tennis?
She's not going to win.
You know what I told B-Dog today? Do you think if this screaming ass big girl played Osaka, and Osaka needs to come back to tennis immediately, and Andreescu needs to get her shit together, and Halep needs to come back?
Andreescu's done.
She has a game. Andreescu has a game.
She's done.
She's not done.
She's
got a game.
Well,
this is not
she's
right.
She's not done with playing, but I think she's done at the highest level.
We are telling every junior, just hit a damn forehand and scream and you're okay.
Yep.
That's not right.
Look, one of our students too, there's only one of them. You know who I'm talking about, right? Mm-hmm. Tuesdays and Thursdays. She gets out there and grunts every shot she hits, and I'm like, where in the hell?
Who does?
I won't say it live. Here.
Oh, I didn't think she grunts.
Oh, she grunts. And I always want to say something, but I'm reminded that there's another coach involved that wants her to hit the ball really hard and in point really quick.
Oh, the guy that wears the tight-ass shorts?
Yeah, the tighty whitey shorts, and really has no reason to be coaching, if you look at his kids, or his son. But anyway, long story short, grunting and whacking the ball is absolutely what Sabalenka is about. Pliskova does have a little bit more strategy than that.
Look, Nadal grunts, and I hate it. I hate it out of loop. But at least the man has strategy. Sabalenka, no strategy. That is not tennis. Screaming at every point. That is, you're interrupting your opponent's mindset. The grunting is different from screaming. She's screaming with her greasy hair.
Yeah, we were watching the match today, and there was a really light slice that she hit. It was just a cross-court backhand slice to the other side, right? And it wasn't just this one. I think it was the only one we could stand to watch with the volume up. And I think that's when we were just getting figured out that it was going to rain all day. So we started watching the previously recorded stuff from early. She went to this light slice. She wasn't even moving that much, and she went back.
This guy, I'm not just complaining about her grunt. I'm not just complaining about her screaming. I'm complaining about her hideous tennis. That is not tennis. If you think that's tennis, guys, go watch some older videos. At least Monica Seles, who grunt, had strategy. She hit the damn ball, but she could slice, she could chip, she could take off the pace. This girl does not deserve to win this Grand Slam. And I hope whoever comes through, Pliskova needs to come through. Barty deserves to win the slam. Heck, Kerber's even a better player than this girl.
The Sabalenka won't win the slam for that one reason. You have to have a little bit of variety to walk away after a fortnight with a trophy. Pliskova, I think, handles Sabalenka. It might go 3 sets. I think Pliskova might...
They've gone 3 sets.
Yeah, I think Pliskova might come out and lose the first set, start a little slow, and then lose the next 2. I'm not going to bet on this type of match, but if I was a bettor and was parlaying maybe the 2 finals...
so it's Sabalenka 2-0.
Oh, whatever. I still am not taking her here. I don't care what the head-to-heads is. I'm taking Pliskova here on the surface. I don't know how else to say it. You would be stupid, in my opinion, to bet on Sabalenka against Pliskova in this final. Who do you choose in the final? You think you already said it. You choose Pliskova. Flip to the other
I'd
side
rather
though.
bite my hand off.
Flip to the other side though.
Okay.
Barty is a different level player than Tomljanovic.
Different.
Different level.
That was like watching a challenger girl play against a number one player in the world.
Different level of player.
Yeah.
Barty outclassed Tomljanovic right out of the get-go. Now Barty was getting broken at will kind of late in the first set and early in the second, and she still dominated her. So what does that tell you? I don't even want to look. We all know that Tomljanovic.
I like her dress. She's who's Ivani? I can't say her name. What can I say? Gulangu. I can't. Gulagan. Yeah, she was wearing the same dress. I took a picture of it, but I'm not gonna show it. I thought that's a nice dress. She's trying to represent her countrywoman.
Barty had a practice session today. Enough said there. Muhova Kerber match was good.
No, it wasn't.
I thought it was good.
It wasn't good. Muhova was overwhelmed by the situation she was in the quarterfinals. I felt like she could have played better and she just didn't. How the hell does Kerber get away with serving?
Oh, yes.
Pushing the second serve in.
I have that
and
reading.
Muhova could not put the ball away. That was a baby serve. Put the ball away. How did she let her get away with that?
Look. First of all, give credit where credit is due. Kerber has been here before, done that. Hasn't Kerber won 3 majors or 2? She's won 3 majors, right?
3 majors, yeah.
2 Wimbledons, 1 US?
I think so.
Something like that. Kerber has the experience. By the way, Kerber has the legs. Kerber has Carla's legs. And normally I would say, well, this person has... Carla has their legs.
She has better legs.
Carla has those legs. When we look at the game of tennis, legs are really, really important because legs get us to where we need to be so we can get set. And then the up top, it's good to be a little bit more lean and Djokovic or Federer-esque. I even think Nadal is a little too bulky sometimes. But look at Djokovic's physique especially. Strong legs, strong quads, strong calves, strong quadriceps, ready to go, lean and mean, stretching. He's a really unique machine, right? With Kerber, she has the legs. She has the abilities to get there. By the way, Kerber is on a 10-match win streak. She started the season, I think it was 8-10.
She had a bad season. That's why I would have never picked her.
Check my mathematics on that. I think Kerber started the season 8-10, and I think now she is 18-10.
But who would have picked Kerber? Honestly, who would have thought Pliskova?
I can tell you who picked Kerber.
Who would have? No, I'm just saying.
I can tell you who picked Kerber.
But I'm talking about from their career. Pliskova's career was kind of going downhill. Who would have ever thought she'd be in the semifinals?
Let me go ahead and tell you.
Sabalenka had never passed fourth round?
Zhou Wang thought that. I thought that. Thomas Wilson thought that.
No, because of the draw she
thought
had.
that.
Because
and
of the
Zest
draw
for
she
Life
had.
thought that. And AKA
Did you think that she would ever make it to a final though?
Kerber?
She was playing bad
Well,
tennis.
we all picked her.
But she was playing bad tennis.
I guess there had to have been some thoughts there.
I don't know.
All right, Kerber playing Barty. Who you got, Carla?
Barty, I think will beat her. It'll be a 3-set.
2-2.
Barty needs to attack Kerber's serve. It's a weak link in her game. The weak link is right there. The serve. Break her.
The second serve.
Break her second serve. Break it.
Barty and Kerber, from what I gather, are 2-2 head-to-head. So it's a level playing field. Kerber would literally, playing Muhova, would just push her second serve in. She would just roll it in. And Muhova would not take a step up, maybe return that second serve inside the baseline, and then even catch that early. She continued to stay 2-3 feet behind the baseline and take that push second serve and hit first ball errors, unforced errors right on the return of serve on the push serve. Kerber is not going to be able to get away with that against Barty. Barty can step into that ball, take it up the line. She can step into that ball, rip it cross court. She can step into the ball, pump fake you out, add variety, and give you the drop return. She can slice the return. She can do everything with that. I don't know that Barty, though, is ready to handle the semifinals against a 2-time previous champion, though, on center court. Maybe so. I love Barty.
Jean says she's won 1 Australian, 1 U.S. Open, and 1 Wimbledon.
Oh, so she's 1 away from a career slam. Thank you, Jean, for that.
Well, wouldn't she have to win the French to be?
That's what I was saying. She's
won 1 Australian, 1 Wimbledon, 1 U.S.
That's what I said. She's 1 major away from a career slam.
Oh, that's a career slam? When you win
all 4 in your whole career.
No, she hasn't won all 4. She never won the French.
Carla, sometimes I'm dumber. Do you listen? That's what I just said 3 times. You're still trying to tell me.
Okay, so you're saying that she needs to win another Wimbledon? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm telling you, she just needs to win the French Open to get a career slam.
That's never gonna happen. That's never gonna happen.
Sometimes I get dumber listening.
But that's
to
what
you.
I'm telling you. It's not a career slam because
said,
it's never gonna happen.
I know. I didn't say she would. I just said she's one. Spanish women, man.
Why bring it up?
I didn't even.
Holy shit! Why bring it up?
Where did that even come from? I'm just sitting here saying, okay, she wins one more, and you're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, are you listening?
Yeah.
Women,
I don't know. It says Kerber has won Wimbledon before, guys. That's what I'm saying.
We already said that.
Yes, I know.
Look, okay, yeah. For this match, I'm going to take Barty. Now, and the second set though against Tomljanovic, Barty was getting broken at will there, at end of the first set, early in the second set. Barty or Kerber is not going to allow Barty to do that. Barty was hitting the ball short into the court to Tomljanovic. She was hitting the ball just beyond the service line. Kerber's going to take that and rip it. Barty's going to have to hit deeper into the court to beat Kerber. If she does hit deep into the court, then I think she'll be fine. If Barty is hitting the ball short with no depth, no top spin, then Kerber is going to win. I did notice today that Barty was hitting the ball kind of Nadal-esque and kind of hooking it into the corners. You'll see Djokovic do sometimes, instead of plowing through the ball or hitting, some semi-solid topspin. She was really grabbing it and kind of lifting at it, kind of scooping at the ball and landing it in the corner. A good play, but you better damn sure be damn sure that shot's landing in, because most of the time when you scoop the ball like that, it's going out. So Barty was lucky on a couple of shots today where they pinned the corner on Tomljanovic. If that's Kerber's going to step in and take that ball early. And that's what Tomljanovic can't do, because she's not that level of player. But Kerber is, because she has the legs to do it.
Well, her boyfriend was definitely cheering her on.
Berrettini can cheer all he wants, but that's not going to help. The best legs right now left in this are Barty and Kerber, and they are facing one another in the semifinals. The winner of the Barty-Kerber match wins the tournament, in my opinion. You have hard hitters on one side, and you have variety on the other. I think variety wins. The good guys versus the bad. The squealer and the zombie against a two-time or a one-time previous champion with experience, and Barty with everything in the bag.
The 3-time champ or the 1-time champion.
Poll question: does either Barty or Kerber win this major or not?
I think most of them agree with you.
Okay.
I agree, Justin. Adelou, Look, 83 says I agree, Justin. Jean says I agree, Justin. Alex Criar said, does variety beat power on grass? I think so.
Yeah, variety beats power any day. Because what happens? Look, let's say I'm a carpenter. I go to houses and I fix houses, right? And in my toolbox, I keep a saw and a screwdriver and a hammer. Okay, that's all I got in my toolbox. Go to the house, and I pull out my saw, and this person wants me to saw this tree down. Okay, got my saw. This person wants me to screw in this screw. Well, I got my screwdriver. This person wants me to nail in that nail. I got a hammer, right? Mm-hmm. Well, what the hell happens when I gotta cut a piece of wire that the saw won't cut through? Do I have any wire cutters? What happens when I have to sand something because the piece of wood I just cut's got ragged edges? I don't have any sandpaper. Okay? If you're able to throw every tool in the toolbox at someone, they do not have the same tool in theirs to defend that, then the person with more tools in the toolbox will damn beat your ass. And it is Barty and Kerber with more tools in the toolbox. So, and furthermore than that, Sabalenka only has a hammer. She has no nail. She has no sandpaper. She has nothing. She has one gear. A huge ass game. And if she is off that day at the office and has a bad day at the office, she will lose badly. Okay? Pliskova, on the other hand, does have more variety.
She has more variety.
Hence why
Bajin is right now saying, please, Pliskova, I need my career to I need to get my career back in track. Please make it to this final. Let's win so they can say, here I took Osaka to win a slam and now I made you a champ.
I'm the best thing since sliced bread.
She really needs to win this slam for him.
And you can tell I go to the tanning bed. and Pliskova has the personality of a zombie that is dead. And this is what's going to happen. So Sabalenka only has one tool, a screwdriver. Okay.
Jack Nolte, Serena definitely has more variety than Pliskova and Sabalenka.
I don't know.
Is that a joke?
I don't know.
She can come to the net and volley. She can slice. She can
She only comes to the net and volleys behind a huge serve.
But she puts the ball away. She doesn't jump
Jack
at it.
Nolte, Serena does not have a lot of variety. She just whacks the shit out of the ball.
That's
She's
not
like
true.
Sabalenka times 4.
That's not true.
It is true.
That's why she won that many slams, because she had no variety.
She won that many slams because of one thing, her serve.
So everything you said then is garbage.
Garbage? What the hell are you talking about?
You said variety wins. How did she win?
Serena won because of her serve. Are you serious?
Manson says Serena has variety.
Okay, whatever. I'm wrong. Serena has a shitty serve. Okay, for a female. Her serve sucks. Serena's serve sucks and never.
She has a serve. Serena you telling me that she just hits the ball and hit the ball? You telling me she doesn't hit the ball with a plan?
Serena Williams has won all of her majors because not of her serve. Thank you, Carla, for making me smart.
Serena thank you for making me dumber. You sound like a dumbass. She can serve hard and she hits the ball hard, but places it. Are you telling me this girl just hits the ball like Sabalenka and just hits it with no idea what's the next step?
Anyway,
you can't be a champ. You cannot be a champ if you're not playing chess in your head. 24 slams. Did you just say that stupid shit?
What are you even talking about?
The guy Jack Nolte
The only thing I said is Serena won that many majors because of her serve.
Alex Couillard
and you disagree with that?
Alex Couillard said, I'm getting dumber now.
Look, if you took away Serena Williams' serve, and she had Kerber's second serve roll, would she have that many majors?
Chris Cooper says Serena crushes returns, hits overheads, and fights like Dickens.
Okay, I'm not saying I don't like her. I love her, but I'm telling you, her serve is why people say she can take out men. Her serve. I'm not knocking her. I'm just telling you, Serena's strength is her damn serve. And if you tell me that's not the case, then you are not a fan.
Who said that's not her strength? But she's not She's not Sabalenka. She's not Sabalenka.
I understand that.
That was the question Jack Nolte was asking.
Anyway, anybody that tells me I'm a Serena fan, anybody that tells me that Serena's success has nothing to do with her serve is smoking crack.
You said she has no variety.
She doesn't have as much as Barty.
Oh my God.
Anyway, man, you guys.
Michael Walker says Serena Williams plays angles like crazy also.
Also great, but her primary weapon is the serve. That's all I'm saying. And you're yelling at me?
Gene Schwartz says Sabalenka is one-dimensional, and that's fact.
Okay, anyway. I forgot where I was at because sometimes these hardcore fanatics of one player are so freaking naive, and they just they just put everything into their heads. Serena is the greatest of all time because of her serve in women's tennis. That's a fact. Stop making all these damn excuses.
So do you think by yelling and screaming you're right?
No, but stop making. Also, Serena is serve.
She has a serve, but she has variety. That's like me saying, Justin, the only reason you win games off of me is because you can serve the ball harder than I can.
That's true.
You can slice. You can hit volleys, Justin.
I'm done with this topic. Men's quarterfinal predictions. Djokovic versus Fucsovic.
Djokovic.
Kachanov versus Shapovalov, the battle of the
That's
OBs.
going to be a tough match. I choose Shapo, but I think that it could go either way.
Shapovalov should win that because Kachanov has not been very impressive for a long time. Now, Carla used to think he was the best thing of sliced bread, just like she used to think Dogopolov was the first in the world.
He's just mad at me because I won the fight.
Carla might bait you up with all her tough talk, but you know what? She's really not that damn tough. And I can assure you that she used to think Alexander Dogopolov, she swore up and down that he would be number one in the world. Where's Alexander Dogopolov?
Dimitrov was the next fighter. So,
Dimitrov
Chilik was the best thing. Yeah. Are you mad at me, baby?
No, I ain't mad at you, man. Tripping out over here. Damn, you gotta be married to this stuff too? Crazy, man. See what I put up with?
I know how to push his buttons. I sure do know how to push his buttons.
Stupid, man.
Easy.
It's not easy to push my buttons. All right, Berrettini against Spence. What the hell are you doing, man? I'm all sweating over here. Like, damn. That was rough, man. I had to swallow my pride on that shit. I'm about to get mad through this damn chair, her ass, I swear. Oh, damn, pissed there for a minute. Okay, Berrettini against Felix Auger-Aliassime.
I think Berrettini will take that. Don't you think
he should?
He's like, it's like a man still playing against a boy. Do you feel like it's that way?
Yeah, but look, I'm going to pull for Aliassime here. I'm still not a fan of Berrettini. No disrespect to him. He's a fine player, fine young man. I don't have a problem with him. He doesn't have bad court conduct. He doesn't squeal like a stuffed pig.
Yeah.
I like Berrettini. I think he's good.
They're both good.
But for some reason, I would love to see Felix win this. I would love to see Felix make a semifinal. I think Felix would have a great chance against Federer. Didn't Felix beat Federer not long ago?
Yeah, he did. Wasn't it at East?
Eastbourne, I think,
Yeah.
or Queens Club or something. But look, if Felix can get through this semifinal, or excuse me,
Oh,
this,
how? Thank you, Gene. Thank you.
I really hope Felix gets through this semifinal or quarterfinal. I would love to see Felix make the final because,
Yeah, because
truth be told, no one's going to beat Djokovic anyway.
no one's gonna be joking. But don't you think that Berrettini has a better chance? I mean, to at least get one set, babe. One set at least.
Well, before the tournament started, a lot of other sports writers that we follow and read some stuff from, a lot of them indicated prior to the tournament beginning, there's only two people that can threaten Djokovic. Number two was Berrettini, and number one was Djokovic himself. Look, Federer may very well beat Hurkacz, and that's fine. And Federer very well will beat Eliasim Berrettini and make a final. And Federer will be able to retire by making a Wimbledon final his last year, and that's respectable. But Djokovic is not going
I
to lose
agree
to
with you,
Federer.
but at least, old man, like, remember Ryan, what you sent me? Hey, old winner man made it to the semi. He's in the semis, right? He's in the semis. Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
What was that song that was written? But was it Neil Young? Oh man, look in my life, I'm a lot like you.
Well, he's in the quarters still. He's still in the quarters.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
if you've ever heard the song, it's by Neil Young, and it's called Old Man. That's what I think about when I see Roger Federer now. Check it out. It's perfect. It's a really good tune, by the way.
Yeah.
All right. Any topics you want to take? Any comments?
Ryan, tomorrow, 3-0? 3? We're going to make it 3?
Oh, yes.
3-0?
So we'll have a special guest tomorrow that's been on the show before, Ryan Mason. He's in Mississippi. Fine tennis player, good coach, and a heck of a young man. And we talk daily personally. Love you a lot, bro. Can't wait. He has also promised me that next time we get a hurricane or strong tropical storm that comes up this area, he will be here and we will do an entire few days of hurricane videos, which takes a couple of days to do it because the storm approaches and then it gets here, it makes landfall, and then the day after. So I hope your wife's ready for that. If not, I'll be like, damn, dog, you gotta figure that out, dude. Just kidding, totally. But he will be on the show tomorrow. Carla and my second oldest son, Christopher, have played Carla and Ryan in 2 doubles matches. We lost them both, but very close. Could have gone either way. I mean that seriously. Sure. Today it rained all day. It's still raining hard outside. Mm-hmm. When it rains here this hard, there's like 27 pounds of sand, more like 500 pounds of sand.
I'm hoping it stops so we can get a chance.
On the courts that we play on. So, Ryan and everyone else, tomorrow, how that will work after the men's quarterfinals, if there's 700 pounds of sand on the courts and it's still wet, that way I can't blow it off, then we will do the show early. If it is sunny out tomorrow and the courts are dry, I'll blow them and clean them. We'll do our lessons and then play that third doubles match, and we will do the show later. So it's either going to be early or late. Mm-hmm. Makes sense? Mm-hmm. And we'll put the notification out for it at some point in time. Maybe the notification, it may only be like an hour before the show, honestly. So if you're excited about the men's quarterfinals, then turn your notifications on and don't forget to subscribe. All right? Much love. I got to kick this girl's ass now because I'm pissed. I'm kidding. Nothing but love. All right? We're locked in. We were locked in. All right? All right. See ya.
Bye, guys.